Hello YouTube, how is everyone going? Haven't done a proper vid for a little while, so back again. Last vid I did, like an extended one, I think was the end of last year when I did a bit of a review of the 2025 ASX or the XJO, and I broke down the 11 sectors, how they performed in 2025 and how I best guess estimated they would perform in 2026. We're 3 months in. I thought I'd just go back and have a little look. I watched the video again, a few of the shares I spoke about, and just checked how they were going. And I thought I'd do an update on how it is going to compare to how I thought the market would go. So let's kick on. As you can see, this is what I was predicting for 2026. So there's 11 sectors, and as you can see, the materials sector in 2027 was the number one sector on the ASX, the best performing sector out of the 11 sectors. And I was predicting for 2026 things would be exactly the same. It would be the best performing sector. Currently, it's the fourth best performing sector. It is up on the year. It had a great January, a not so good February, and a not so good March either, really. Currently up around 2% and currently sitting fourth. So far, I'm a little off. I don't think I will be by the end of the year, but currently I am. Now, the best performing sector currently, as you can see on the far right there, currently number one is the energy sector. And obviously that has had a good year thus far. Last year had a bad year, was actually ninth best performing, or third worst performing sector. I did predict it would be a big recovery this year, but it has been even bigger than what I was thinking. Currently up around 35%. The energy sector, and sitting clearly on top with everything that has been going on. Perhaps an anomaly with what Trump's been getting up to, driving the price of oil up and helping those energy stocks. I think they're going to have a good year anyway. And so far 3 months in, they're killing it. Basically, they're well and truly out in front as the best performing sector, the energy sector. Now, another sector that I thought would perform well is the consumer staples. A bit of a flight to safety, and consumer staples do well in downturns. And so far, not too far off. I thought they'd be third for the year, currently sitting second and doing okay. The sector I thought would be fourth is industrials. Now, they're not performing so well. They're currently seventh. And, mid-table, a little bit worse. We'll see how they're going by the end of the year. I predicted fifth would be utilities. They're doing well, currently third. Communication sector, I predicted they would be sixth at the end of the year, and they're currently sixth. So all in all, that top half, while I've got a few of the positions out of place, not too bad. Now, the next two in line, I predicted 7th and 8th would be healthcare and information technology. They're currently 10th and 11th. If you look over to the left there, you'll see that last year they were 11th and 10th. So they were the two worst performing sectors in 2025. And so far this year, they are diabolically bad, especially the info tech. It's down over 31% on the year, that sector. Healthcare down about just under 19%. So if you're hoping for a turnaround in those two sectors this year, it hasn't happened. And who knows when it will. I predicted real estate. Now, this is an interesting one. I predicted real estate would be the third worst performing sector, and currently it is the third worst performing sector. And below that, I had financials as the second worst performing sector. At the moment, they're fifth. So that's a bit of a disconnect between real estate and the financials. Normally they're a little bit more congruent and stick closer together. As you can see, last year financials was the third best performing sector and real estate was the fifth best. So you'd expect those two to almost go hand in hand. And, I was predicting a big turnaround for financials from being having a good year and having a good 3 decades, basically, to having a poor year. Hasn't been reflected thus far. I mean, they are down on the year, just over 1%, the financial sector, but holding up relatively well. And it'll be interesting to see for how much longer that happens. I'm really bearish on the financial sector, looking at the numbers. They don't excite me one little bit. I would much rather be in the materials sector personally. This is all just my opinion, of course. I'm trying to predict the future here, which no one can do, really. And my worst performing sector, what I predicted for 2026, was consumer discretionary. Shares like your Wesfarmers, your Aristocrat Leisure, your JB Hi-Fi. They are doing poorly, currently sitting in 8th and down around 16% on the year. I can't see them doing too well for the rest of the year. But that's just a bit of a snapshot, a bit of an update. Interesting to see how the market's going. The XJO overall is down about 3.5%. And as you can see, well, as I've said, there's 4 sectors up at the moment, which is the energy sector, the consumer staples, the industrials, and the materials sector. So those 4 are up. The other 7 are currently down and weighing down the market in general, down 3.5%. There we go. I'll do another update in 3 months' time once we're halfway through the year and just see how it is all stacking up, see if that materials sector does actually bounce back. I'm quietly confident that it will, in my opinion, as I've said. Anyway, that's about it for this vid. One thing I've been doing that I think I've made a few shorts and that pretty uninspiring stuff, but I've been doing a lot of fasting of late. I've been doing intermittent fasting, which I enjoyed. I was doing like a 4-hour feed window each day with a 20-hour fast. Eating from 5 till 9 was my feed window each afternoon and each evening. That was great. I felt great. Did it for 3 months. Then I had a break off it, and I've been pretty much fasting, I would say, best part of a year now. Just trying different things. Current thing I'm doing is a 40-hour fast every week. So it's Monday today, the 30th of March. And this is only the second week that I've done this. So, we'll see how we go with it. But basically, I stop eating Sunday nights at 9. I sort of had my dinner. I had a biscuit last night just before 9 with a cup of tea. And then I don't eat again, until Tuesday, 1 o'clock. So I don't eat Mondays, is what I call this regime. Tell me why I don't eat Mondays. And I did it last week. Felt absolutely incredible. By Tuesday, I could have gone longer. There was no really desire for me to eat on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, but I wanted to stick to the 40 hours. So sometimes I have a habit of pushing things to the point where if next time I do it, I've got to push further, and next time I do it, I've got to push further. And then it gets to a point where I don't start doing it, or I don't do it again because it seems so daunting to me. And I've done that a lot in life. Whatever I take up, I push and push to the point where I don't want to do it anymore because I have a bit of a, addictive personality, or I don't know what it is. So I really had to rein myself in and thought, okay, I was going to do 40 hours. I've done my 40 hours. I'm going to stop and eat. And so I'm going to do that every week. I'm not going to push it any further than that. I'm going to just do this. I was thinking for 2 months. So just don't eat Mondays for 2 months and see what sort of results I've got. First week, I must admit, the most telling thing that happened was I slept so good on Monday night. I hadn't eaten all day. Monday night, went to bed, fell asleep very quickly and didn't wake up. I think I slept for 9 hours, which is unusual for me, not to wake up at all. And you just had a great sleep. Woke up Tuesday morning, just bounced out of bed, felt fantastic. So hopefully that'll happen again tonight. See how we go. And I went to the gym Tuesday. I felt great at the gym. And then, ate on Tuesday afternoon or lunchtime-ish, or 1 o'clock. And, ended it there. But then during the week, I still did sort of intermittent fasting where I skipped breakfast and didn't eat till probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoons. So I kept that up as well on top of the 40-hour fast at the start of the week. And, initial results were great, so I'm going to continue to do it. It doesn't have to be Mondays, of course. You can pick any day, but Mondays is just perfect for me. I'm home all day, and it's just easy. There's no real temptation to eat. Anyway, that's it. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing well in the market. I've still got my silver. I'm still bullish on the materials sector. Obviously, the energy sector. If you go back and watch the vid I made late December, I was bullish on the energy sector, and I sold my West Farmers and I sold Macquarie. I was getting out of the financials and consumer discretionary sector, and I bought into the energy sector. I bought some Woodside, bought some BHP. They're not energy sector. I bought Woodside and Karoon. I mentioned that in my video from last year. Excuse me. Karoon, I think I paid $1.55 for, and they're up over $2.15 now with everything that's going on. Woodside, I was in about 23, and they're at 34 or something. So all doing well there, and sort of saved my portfolio from a big drawdown if I had kept those financials and consumer discretionaries. Anyway, that's how it is. I'll talk to you again soon. If you want to comment or ask me any question or say hello, just put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.